A few people have been asking, how do I get started using Obsidian? What should the correct setup be? In a previous video, I had shown you how to get started with Obsidian using the folder structure of Para. However, as I mentioned in my last video, what is Para? I've not really adapted the system to make better use of the functionalities afforded by tools such as Obsidian and Roam Research. In fact, this folder structure cannot really be incorporated in Roam Research. In this video, let's try and fix that. We'll get started by creating a new vault in Obsidian and then set up Para in a flat file system. This system has been developed by Mediapathic over at the Obsidian community. I will be adding a link to the workflows library created by the Obsidian community to help you explore this and other methods. The best part about this approach is that it leverages some of the unique features afforded by Obsidian and Roam, such as bidirectional linking. So let's get started. Alright, so let's get started. The very first thing we'll do is we'll just open up Obsidian. I have my file already open here. Now let's open another vault. Let's create a new vault for this. We'll name the vault FlatPara. Location we'll choose. Yeah, this location is perfect. Create. Alright, before we get started, some of you all wanted me to change the appearance to light mode from dark mode. So let's go to light mode again and let's get started. Now the very first file that I'll create is a para index. I'll explain why in a second. So we name it 000 para index. Let's just go. Okay. And what will para index contain? Firstly, let's just open up the edit window as well. So again, control on a Windows, command on a Mac. So command and click. And here I can see the preview mode as well. So first thing will be tags. Second thing we'll add is links. Basically, links will allow us to shift between projects, areas, resources, and archives fluently without having to go somewhere and find it again and again. So the way you create this is first, like always, you start with double brackets, and we'll put 001 projects. Then we'll put 002 areas. 003 resources, and finally 004 archive. Okay, now there's one thing really weird here. Like, I don't like this. It's not looking neat. So how can we fix this? Well, there's a brilliant hack that we can actually do. So to do that, you just put in a pipe and you put A here, you put in a pipe, you put R here, put in a pipe, you put A here, put in a pipe, and you put P here. Oops. Pipe, P. Alright, so what does this do? You can see this is converted into para, but as you can see, this is nothing but an alias. So for archive, it is A. For resources, it is R. For areas, it is A, and for projects, it is P. So let's test if it works. We didn't have a file, so if you remember, if you don't have a file and you link something to it, it'll create the file for you. So projects has been created. Now again, if I click P, it'll take me to projects. Now if I click A, it'll create areas. If I click R, it'll create resources. If I click A again, it'll take me to archive. Now what I'll do is I'll do Command A, Command C, Control A, Control C on a Windows, and come to project, paste it here, paste it here, paste it here, paste it here. It'll create an easy way for us to jump between projects, areas, resources, and archives. We just add a line break because we want it clean. I forgot to add that everywhere, so let's just quickly add that. And basically that's all you need to do. So let's just add further to this. Index is something that is going to be able to basically give us an overview of without us having to jump between projects, areas, resources, and archive. Para index is going to help us, see everything. And why 000? Because no matter whatever we put, this is always going to stay in the top, right? So now let's just put all these pages here so that we can get a good overview of them without having to jump into them. So again, I'll select projects, areas, resources, and finally archives. Now, if you are not familiar, there's one way we can see an overview of all these pages without having to go into them. You just have to add an exclamation mark in front. And what that does is it embeds the file inside. So you can see it's embedded all the files here. So now let's go to projects. I have a project that I'm already working on. For project name, I'll always start a project name with 100. I'll always start an area's name with 200. I'll always start a resources name with 300. And for archive, 400. Why 100? I'll just explain in a second. So let's call it flat file system in para. Essentially, this is nothing but a description on this video. Now let's come to why 100. Basically, if you want to access only projects really fast in Quick Switcher, the way you bring up Quick Switcher is Command O. You'll have to check what for Windows, but for Mac it's Command O. And all I have to do is just type 100 or 200 and it'll show me all the projects. That's why I'm naming it 100. Right now this file doesn't exist. Clicking this file will create the file. So now go back to projects. Again, Command O. As soon as I put 100, you can see that all my projects are listed here. So let's go inside the file and get working on it. Now I have a pre-made video template that I use in my own personal vault. So let's just bring that up. We'll call the video title Implementing Para in Obsidian. And that's it. It's created everything for us. Now it's taken the date of today. It's put the date automatically. It's created this YouTube URL. It's created a section where I can put in my outline. So if I want to put in, point 1, point 2, for example, I'll just put here. This is where I'll have all my resources. This is where I'll have my notes. This is where I'll have my script. After I publish it, what is the name of the final file? What is the URL? All that will come here. Now, how do you get started? I have projects which I have listed down. So it's very easy for me to get started in this way. But what is the ideal method for you to get started? Well, all you can do is you get started by creating daily notes. Now, as you can see, daily notes is not enabled here. So let me first enable daily notes. Daily notes is now enabled. I don't like this format. I prefer the other format. So let's go for DD MM YYY. Yeah, perfect. And file location. If you want to have a particular location for the file of daily notes, you can put that here. If you have a template that you want to use for daily notes, you can put that here. In my case, I have a day template that I have pre-made that I'll be using. So I'm fine with this setting. Let's just close it. Now, how do you get started? I've created this template which I use. So I click on open today's notes. And what I do here is I put OBTST and automatically it will pre-populate everything for me. This is how I use today's notes. As you can see that I already have. So there's a little bit of a different formatting I use for dates in my own system. Let me actually just change it here. So we can see the same file format here as well. So the way you do that is you put MMMM. That'll create June and DD and finally YYYY. So that's the format I use. And I'll just close it. I'll just delete this and we'll just create a new file. Yeah, delete. Click here and it's created. Okay, so again, I just have to put in my expansion keyword and you can see it gets expanded. Now if I click yesterday, it'll take me to the file yesterday, but there wasn't any file, so that's why it was a blank file. Now if you click tomorrow, it'll create a tomorrow file and you can add things over there. Well, you must be wondering now, how do I get started? So this is a template which was shared with me by Mediapathic himself. And I have obviously customized it for my own use here. I do not use these. I have a different, my links are pretty different than that. What he does is he has a resonance calendar. And what this does is that it'll get the entry only for this day. He also uses, I think, a weekly plan. And from that weekly plan, he basically gets an overview of what he has planned out for today. So what is this Hash Tuesday? If you're not familiar with it, let me just quickly show it to you. So you click on 24th, we'll call it, let's just put OB test again because it is the next day. Now you can see it's created everything for me. If I go to yesterday, I'll come to the yesterday file. If I go to tomorrow, I'll come to today's file. Very seamlessly converts and, moves around. Okay. So if I was going to call, for example, say I was going to call the 23rd file, right? And I wanted to see what are my notes. So let's go to the notes first. And on the 24th file, I'm going to say, this is a test. Okay. Now what I want to do is I only want to get the notes section into the 23rd file. So what does this Tuesday thing look like? If you're familiar with it, well and good. If you're not, I'll just show it to you very quickly. So you do double brackets, and what you do is I'll just put in June 24th, and generally that's all that you do. If I put an exclamation, I'll get the entire thing over here. But again, I just want notes. I just want to see this is a test. So how do I do that? I'll just put hashtag notes, and that's it. I'll only be able to see the notes and nothing else. So exactly that's what is happening here. Only Tuesday you'll be able to see in your entire week plan. You don't have to see your entire week plan over here. And similarly, when it comes to it's a smart script. So when it comes to 24th, I'll be able to see Wednesday directly instead of Tuesday. Alright, so now let's get back to it. Now, how do you get started? What do you have to do to get started? Well, the easiest way to get started is just by writing down notes. So for example, short a video on, because 100 is our project, so implementing para in flat file system or whatever I have named it in Productivity Guru. I also like to use a hashtag, so hashtag YouTube video. So if I ever want to search for YouTube videos or wherever I've referenced it, I can just click the hashtag and I'll be able to search for it immediately. Now also I've read a book, so read how to take smart notes by Zonke Aarons. Okay, so we're building up a list of basically all the things that we've done and all the things we've seen. So if I want to put notes about how to take smart notes, I just have to click here and I can get my reference here. Now, one thing that I had said in the start, but I have changed it a little because I've been using the system in my own personal vault, and what I've realized is that it does not fit it that well. So projects is the only thing that I'm going to give the name 100 to. Everything else, like in this case, how to take smart notes. Alright, we'll just put category. And in category, we'll call it books. Now in resources, I want to give reference to this. So I can have basically a books reference here. And you can see that there's a reference in how to take smart notes as well as resources as well. So this is where the power of backlinks comes in. So let's just open backlinks here and let's go into books. So as soon as I come into books got created because it wasn't there earlier. You can see that I have linked mentions to resources as well as how to take smart notes. So if I want to see a list of all my books that are there, I can very easily see it from here. I don't need to go into something separately and see it basically. Let's get back to books. Now, also if I have mentioned this somewhere, like say in a daily note, I've written something about a book where I haven't connected it. I can very easily click link here and I can connect it. So let's go back to the daily note. So what kind of a database can you make now? Now, if I click on Zonke Aarons, any book that he's created, all my notes, all my books related to that, I'll be able to see here. And I can have a summarization of the book, how to take smart notes here. So I think by now you're getting an idea and a clue on how just writing everyday notes is connecting and interconnecting and creating a database for you. Automatically by doing these things, we start filling in our projects, areas, resources and archives. Yeah, one more thing which I've forgotten, which I like doing is adding books. So that whenever I am referencing it, let's go back to books. Now, whenever I'm in this, I can see how to take smart notes was already referenced here as well as it was referenced on 23rd June. So this just will give you a basic idea on how to get started. Start filling in the notes, start putting things in. Internet exploration, as I had mentioned earlier, can be nothing but your YouTube videos, articles, anything that resonated with you. So resonance calendar and internet exploration should be a very similar thing. Then to-dos will be your to-dos for the day. And I'm sure as you keep filling in, like, so for example, let's just make a quick to-do. A to-do can be shoot video on bi-directional linking. Now I'll just convert this bi-directional linking into a project. So we'll just do 100 in front. I'll highlight this, put double brackets, and it'll automatically fill it in. And a project has been created for Productivity Guru. Now Productivity Guru is an area. So in areas, I'll just reference Productivity Guru as well. So what I like to do is I like to have it separated further. So in my personal space, I can have an area called Productivity Guru. What this will do is when I go to Productivity Guru and it's created, you can see the link mentions this is part of areas and where all it was mentioned and where all it wasn't mentioned basically. So one of the things that I quickly like to go over, why am I not using 200, 300, 400 as I had said earlier in areas, resources and archives is because what that will do is it will take away the backlinks away from you. So in the sense, if I was to put 400 Productivity Guru, say I had mentioned Productivity Guru in a place where I had not linked it, it wouldn't be able to come to unlinked mentions. So in the case of books, if I have mentioned books anywhere, I'll be able to see linked mentions of it as well as unlinked mentions of it. Unlinked mentions are basically anything that haven't been linked to the books earlier. If I were to add, for example, this would be a resource. So if I was to add 300 in front of it, I won't be able to get unlinked mentions. So this is something that I've changed that I think will better adapt to what we are trying to do. And I'm sure by now you can understand the power of this flat file system in Para and how easily using backlinks and leveraging the true power of Obsidian and Roam Research, you can basically connect everything together. If you found this video helpful, then please like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm planning to do a complete series on Obsidian soon, as well as go in depth into the Zettelkasten method. If you have any suggestions, then please don't forget to comment below. Thank you so much for watching.